Last month, a University of South Carolina student was tragically killed after getting into a stranger's car that she had mistaken for an Uber. Most people know that it's not safe to accept a ride from a stranger, but when ride-sharing apps are blurring those lines, risk can be hard to detect. This is especially dangerous for young college women who frequently use these services.
Almost every week, I would use it to go to my friend's house and to school if I missed the bus, or if my parents weren't around to just drive me to the store or something, I would take an Uber.
A small survey of UMass students found that at least 85% used an Uber in the last month.
Everything is exclusively either Uber or Lyft. It's had a tremendous impact on this community.
Amherst Police Captain Gabriel Ting says that mix-ups like the one that happened at USC are very common.
When I'm patrolling around at nighttime, I'll be parked on the side of the road. Next thing you know, I have college kids opening the car door and trying to get into my car.
And very dangerous.
When you talk about college kids being the perfect target, they certainly are, because a lot of times, from my perspective, when you're college age, you kind of have this feeling of invincibility. It's never going to happen to me. College kids a lot of times are a lot more trusting. They haven't seen a lot of the bad that I may have seen throughout my lifetime.
Sometimes I get a little wishy-washy if I'm with friends getting in the Uber. I don't really check it as vigilantly as maybe I should.
UMass student Aiden Stanowitz drives for Uber and agrees that college passengers can be vulnerable.
I do feel like they're kind of carefree just because they're so used to it. I get you hear the horror stories. I feel like everyone's that's so rare and everything.
Despite that attitude, most passengers, especially women, are familiar with appropriate safety steps to take when you're getting into an Uber.
Make sure that it's the right license plate and that's the driver's name and that's the car and everything.
I always check the rating, and I always see who I'm expecting and the picture, and make sure that nothing looks kind of scary or off.
If I'm going somewhere to meet someone, or if I'm gonna be with my parents or something, I don't know, I text them and be hey, I'm getting in the Uber now.
But even the most careful passengers do accept some risk when getting into an Uber.
I think that I always second guess whether or not I should call a car, and if I'm alone, I definitely opt for a better option.
Unfortunately, in this day and age, you can't just have that trusting notion that you're going to be taken care of no matter what. 99% of the time you are. But once your guard is down, you never know what could happen. And that South Carolina case is a perfect illustration of that.
So how much responsibility is Uber taking for passenger safety? Potential drivers do go through background checks, but for the most part, almost anyone can sign up.
I think the reason why Uber is so successful is because taxi companies are so regulated, or in the eyes of Uber, over-regulated. There's no real certifications that you need. All you need is a driver's license. So, literally anybody can be a driver.
Uber also claims to regularly check in with drivers and encourages them to prominently display the Uber logo on their cars. But Aiden says oversight can be pretty lax.
I don't think it's enforced. I don't think it's mandatory that you have to have this sticker on your car. There'll be a couple times where you'll go to open up the app and it'll be we need a picture of your face to verify it's you. But that's only happened to me once. And then other than that, it's just they'll send you here's an update of our policies, and you just hit confirm and then you're good to go.
In the wake of the USC attack, many are looking for Uber to take more responsibility for passenger safety.
There's got to be some kind of implementation that should be incorporated through the phone app. And I saw in that South Carolina case, there's a new initiative that they're trying to pass with Uber where they say, what's my name?
When you're done with the ride, it gives you it prompts you to rate the driver and stuff. Maybe there could also be an option about how safe or comfortable you felt during the ride.
Has to be some kind of method, through technology, of a verification process.
Mm-hmm.
Until then, police officers like Captain Ting stress that safety is a personal responsibility. When taking an Uber, it's always a good idea to verify the driver's name and license plate before getting in their car, and to text a friend of your whereabouts.
I certainly think you always have to be responsible for yourself. You can't leave your own safety into someone else's hands.